setting up a percentage-based gradebook in JetNet. Percentage-based aggregation methods are common in courses where most of the grade is coming from tests or quizzes or other things which have a set number of items and you can get some right, some wrong. It's very easy to derive a percentage from. Points-based is more common in a course where the grade is primarily coming from things like a project and so on that might make more sense to do by points rather than percentages. Although neither is exclusive. You can do either or. It's even possible to mix the two, but I don't recommend that. I think it's best to choose one system or the other so you can communicate it to your students. So here we are at JetNet. You'll recognize this screen, typical. So you want to find your course. In this case, I'm using JetNet Training Course. We're going to go to the Gradebook. There are a couple of ways you can get to the Gradebook. You can click here in Course Management and then click on Gradebook. Or once you're over here, you can click on this sandwich menu and also get to the Gradebook. Once you're in the Gradebook, notice your two lines of menu. This second line of menu is contextual. It depends on what item you have selected up here. We're going to select Setup. Notice that the second item, now the second menu, comes up with these three choices. Gradebook Setup is where we want to be. Very first thing you're going to want to do in a percentage-based aggregation method is decide if you want weighting or not. If you want weighting, then you need to follow this rule. This root level category or folder, you can see the folder image here, should be weighted mean of grades. The default is simple weighted mean of grades. And in a simple weighted mean of grades, there isn't a way to artificially weight things. So here, we're going to go to aggregation. We're going to choose weighted mean of grades. We're going to save changes. So now we have a aggregation method that is a percentage-based aggregation method. It's a weighted mean of grades. And we've selected the weighted mean of grades in order to be able to apply artificial weighting to any of the categories or items that we want to do. So now, once you have your gradebook aggregation set up, you can add some grade items. Let's just say that the first one is Quiz 1. Now here, you have to make a choice. The simplest in a percentage-based system is to keep your maximum grade at 100. Just pretend like that's the percent. And then, when you record a grade, record the percentage. On the other hand, you could also change this maximum grade for any grade item to be the actual number of points possible. And then when you report the grade, you would report the number correct. And then JetNet will record the grades for you. But I think it's easiest for people who are thinking in percentages is to keep this at 100 for every single grade and then report the percentage. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save the changes. And now you'll see we have Quiz 1, which is a grade item, in our folder. Let's create another one. Add grade item. This one will be midterm. Again, I'm going to leave my maximum grade at 100 and hit Save Changes. Now you can see that we have a quiz and we have a midterm, and it's possible to artificially weight each of these. If we don't artificially weight them, each of these will account for 50% of the total score. You can see here it's going to be reported as a percentage in 100s. Now sometimes what people like to do is they like to sort things according to categories, according to the weights. So instead of weighting each item individually, they prefer to create a category, which we will do now, add category. And we're going to put quizzes into one category. And here we're going to keep simple weighted mean of grades. Remember, we used weighted mean of grades for the root category. Now, if we're going to create a subcategory, we're going to keep that at simple weighted mean of grades. Save changes. So now you see we have a quizzes folder that is underneath our root level folder. Each of these is at the same level. So this means that these two grade items, the grade item is where we put a grade, is in these two items are in this root folder, as is this. what we want to do now is we want to sort by putting our quiz into quizzes. I'm going to do that by clicking in this checkbox, then right down here, move selected items to quizzes. The screen will refresh, and now you see I have quiz 1 in my quizzes. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a category, and I'm going to add an exam category. Again, keeping simple, weighted, mean of grades. I save the changes. So now I have my midterm, I have my exam, but you'll notice that my midterm is in the root folder. It is not in the exam folder. I need to sort it. Click there. Move selected items to, click choose, move it to exam. And now I have a quizzes folder with a quiz. I have an exam folder with an exam. And notice that there is a weighting box in the folder level only. There is no weight box for quiz 1. There is no weight box for midterm. It is only in the category. So in this way, I can say, okay, let's say that my exams are going to count for 75% and my quizzes are going to count for 25%. I can enter those in, no fractions needed, no decimals needed, 25 and 75, and hit Save Changes. That's the only time you really need to hit that Save Change. So now, my exams are going to be 75% of the score for the entire course total. Quizzes will be 25. Doesn't matter how many grade items I have in my quizzes folder or in my exam folder, they are now going to be weighted in this way. If you have any questions about this, contact me. Hopefully this will get you started in a quick way.